Hey everybody, Chris here to show you how to replace the ball joints on your vehicle. Before I get into that, take a second to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any of our new content. Today I'll be changing the ball joints on this 2008 Hyundai Santa Fe, but procedures will vary slightly from one vehicle to the next, so be sure to know the specifics for your vehicle before getting started. If you're not completely comfortable doing this yourself, we'd be happy to recommend a professional technician in your area. Once you've got your supplies together, here's what you'll do. Park on a level surface. Loosen the lug nuts on the front wheels with your breaker bar and socket. Chock the rear wheels. Jack up the front end and put it on stands. Remove the lug nuts and the wheels. There may be a cotter pin that needs to be removed first. If so, use needle nose pliers to remove it. Now to remove the pinch bolt at the top of the ball joint, it's a good idea to use some penetrating oil to make the bolt easier to remove. Use a wrench and a socket with breaker bar to loosen the nut and bolt securing the pinch bolt. You may need to tap the bolt with a hammer in order to remove it from the steering knuckle. Once the bolt is removed, use a pickle fork or a ball joint separator to disengage it from the steering knuckle. This tool is safe to use in our case because we'll be replacing the ball joints. It can damage the ball joints you're removing, so only use one of these in situations where you'll be replacing the ball joint. Start the fork in between the control arm and ball joint, and use a hammer to tap the back of it in order to wedge the ball joint off the control arm. Reposition the control arm out from under the steering knuckle to give you room to remove the ball joint. In our case, the ball joint on this Santa Fe is secured with a lock ring, but others may be pressed in and require a special tool to remove the ball joint. Put a rag in place here to protect the CV boot. We'll remove the snap ring from the ball joint. Now use a floor jack to support the control arm and separate the ball joint from the control arm using a hammer. If that doesn't work, you may need to use a ball joint press. Slip the appropriate press tube around the bottom of the ball joint under the control arm. Then use the clamp and a ratchet and socket to push the ball joint out. Use a rag to wipe down the control arm where the new ball joint will mount. Install the new ball joint using the ball joint press. Use the press tube on top and put the clamp in place and press the ball joint into the control arm. Use the snap ring to secure it, and the press tube to put the boot back on. Move the ball joint back into place on the steering knuckle and press the ball joint shaft into place. You can use your floor jack at the bottom of the ball joint and turn your steering wheel back and forth to help with this if needed. Use a wrench and torque wrench to tighten the nut and bolt securing it to the knuckle. Tighten it to manufacturer specifications. And install a cotter pin at the end of the bolt. It's a good idea to change the ball joints on both sides, so repeat these steps on the other side. If one is worn out, it's likely the other is too, or will be soon. Put your wheels back on, and finger tighten the lug nuts so that the wheels are flush against the rotors. Once the vehicle is lowered, tighten the lug nuts in a star pattern to manufacturer specifications. Be aware that anytime you work on your steering or suspension, an alignment may be necessary. And that's it. You'll find everything that you need for this and other jobs at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com. Our DIY videos are designed to help answer questions we get in our stores every day. If you found this one helpful, subscribe to our channel to get all the latest. We'll see you again soon.